Welcome back to Hot Take Sports, episode 44. We went to a hockey game in Columbus today.
Here we go, Jackets.
Please
Here we
stop.
go.
That's like the 7th time I've heard you do that chant between two different teams. Stop.
Clayton
Matt's just salty because his team lost 5-4.
I'm not salty. I was actually happy. It was a fun game to watch.
That's true. It was a great game. They ended up they pulled their goalie and put in a goal. They were down 5-3 and scored with like a minute 20 left, kept it close.
I got scared at that because Blue Jackets love to go to OT.
You typically don't see like a team pull a goalie and actually score. Usually they lose.
It seems like they screwed up every time.
Well, I was surprised they even pulled it down too, but they did with like 3.5 minutes left, and I was like, all right, go for it. Why not?
I'm about to say,
it worked out.
look at the Lightning last year in the bubble. They did that against the Jackets and scored 2 off of it quickly.
They also went to like 18 billion OT against the Jackets at one point last
Yeah,
year.
that is true
Yeah.
too.
But
I think it was like 6 or something. But yeah.
that was a fun day. Good experience for sure. Very happy that we got to do that as a group. But episode 44, let's dive into it. We're going to talk about NFL free agency. It's going to be the biggest thing. And I think that we should start with arguably the most important move of free agency.
Dog pound.
That is true. The Browns made a trade for Deshaun Watson. Brady, I know the trade included 3 first-round picks, but what were the other 2 things? It was 3 firsts,
It was 3 firsts, a third, and a fourth.
3 and 4.
For Deshaun and a fifth.
For Deshaun and a fifth.
Let me double check that really fast just to make sure I actually had that properly.
But I guess we'll just start with you, Isaac. We'll go around the circle here.
Here it is.
Okay.
So I have it officially.
All right, go for
So
it, Brady.
2022, 2023, 2024 first round picks, 2023 third round pick, and 2024 fourth round pick for Deshaun Watson and 2024 fifth.
That's a lot. Isaac?
I mean, it's a lot to give up, but it was overdue. We needed a quarterback like this.
No, screw you. Screw you.
You're-
Baker Mayfield gave everything to your team. Screw off. He was your savior for 3 years. You had so much faith in him. Got Freddie Kitchens bullcrap. You are such a bandwagon. You are a horrible fan. You are the worst NFL fan I have ever seen. That man gave everything to your team, and you're like, you just want to piss him away for nothing. Yes, Deshaun Watson should be a better quarterback, but Baker Mayfield gave everything to your franchise. Got you your first playoff win in, 25 years?
Since 1994.
Got you to the freaking playoffs. And you were just like, no, he's horrible. Get him out of here.
I'm saying he risked his whole
Give that
career.
man some respect. My
Dude,
goodness.
I'm saying he played no.
You weren't going to get there.
I'm saying he played the entire season hurt. His first season in his career, he didn't throw for at least 3,500 yards.
Yeah, try again.
Baker Mayfield, yes, he got us our first playoff win. I get that. But with all this stuff that coming about, apparently players were not getting along with him in the locker room.
That always
Anymore.
happens, though. Because that's what they said about Carson Wentz. This is when they traded him, too.
Like, no one was getting along in the locker room at all. The Browns wanted a adult at quarterback. That's what they have came out and said.
That's true. I've heard that same
I
statement.
was going to say, I'm
What
only
makes the man with
that.
22 sexual assault allegations of more of an adult than Baker Mayfield?
I didn't make the statement. We'll get to my thoughts. We're on Isaac right now.
All in all.
The Browns looked into it. I think he's going to get suspended for at least 6 games. I believe that.
Also, I did say he didn't throw for 3,000 yards. He still threw for 3,000 yards, and he was hurt all year.
Well, he was missing the plain and obvious wide open passes last year.
They are the same age.
Which kind of blows my mind because Deshaun Watson's been in the league longer.
Yeah.
Makes you better. He came out of
I was
college.
gonna say-
right?
Yeah, he didn't have to go for a
I
fifth
say, well,
year.
Deshaun played at Clemson. Baker started
He started at
like
Texas
Texas
Tech
Tech or
and then
something.
transferred to
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
I'm pretty sure he was behind Mahomes at one point, and then transferred.
No, he actually gave Patrick Mahomes his recruiting tour.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, yeah.
Yeah.
That's serious.
That's kind of cool.
I mean, respect to you,
That's
Baker.
probably still why he transferred, though. I would imagine Mahomes is probably why he transferred still. Could be.
Thank you, Baker. I should say that. He got us our first playoff win and over the Steelers. So I have to say thank you. But
You're freaking better because you haven't all freaking 2 weeks that we talked about this. All you've done is crap on that man.
2 weeks.
Since 2/3 of the way through last season.
Thank you.
Alright,
I was saving that for the pod.
I'm about to say, Baker missed wide open throws last year that he should have hit. I don't care. If you're that injured, just sit the bench.
Yes, you're right. His downfall was choosing not to play. That was definitely a mistake.
Yeah.
But still, you cannot just kick him out the door the way you have been talking the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Baker's a middle.
Sorry.
Baker is a middle of the league quarterback. But when you have a chance to get a top 5 QB, don't.
He hasn't played in 2 seasons.
Fine,
You
top.
don't know what he's gonna
You also
do.
just called him a top 5.
He might be worse than Mitchell
He's not even
Trubisky.
top 10 anymore. Though. I'd argue.
I don't know about that.
Just because he was compared to Lamar Jackson for the first few years of his career doesn't mean he's gonna come in and be the guy. That doesn't mean he's going to be perfect. Yes, on paper, Deshaun Watson is much better and much more athletic than him. But who knows what the Browns are even surrounding him with? And he's definitely not a top 5 quarterback. Don't say, let me get there. You already said it.
Fine, top 10.
I don't even.
ESPN came out and said that.
Screw ESPN. This is your list. This is our
Just because
podcast.
the primary source doesn't.
This isn't Bleacher Report's podcast. This isn't ESPN's podcast. This is Hot Take Sports. Top 5 is probably a hot take, but I want your freaking list. Go grab a piece of paper. Make me a list.
What?
Of the top 5 QBs.
Yeah, get it on your phone. Top 10. Give me your top 10.
Okay, I will go get paper and do it.
While he's typing that out,
Put ticks in your phone.
I guess Brady.
What did that was a bad idea?
Brady,
Not
pay,
yet. Not until we debate.
pay attention, Braden.
I'm listening to you.
We've pretty much heard everything Matt has to say, so I guess we'll transition to you.
He deserves respect. But Deshaun Watson is. I don't argue with them for wanting to improve at the quarterback spot because the division is evolving very quickly.
Yeah.
They need to get weapons in now.
The
Like
Bengals got better quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe then even the Steelers have also got better because like they've picked up a lineman and other.
Yeah, but
other
I still don't
people.
have any faith in the
Oh, I mean,
Steelers.
I
I was gonna
Faith in
say
them
they're
either.
still
I don't have faith in the
they're
Steelers
still
either, but they
fairly
still got better.
fairly easily the weakest quarterback team in our conference.
Well, that
I
doesn't
think
take
pretty
much.
easily.
Wait, in the
I think
conference? Not in the conference. Maybe
Division.
The division.
That's what I meant to say.
Just saying, I'd take Trubisky over
Why don't you
freaking
just
Zach
put it on
Wilson
your
right
phone?
now.
That's because you're a Patriots fan.
No, Zach Wilson still isn't good. Even though I'm a Patriots fan, he's still not good.
Bro, a couple of pods ago, you were picking Zach Wilson over somebody. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of them.
No.
Okay,
You were vouching for Zach
it
Wilson.
might have been Jared Goff though, because we were talking about Jets versus Lions.
Oh yeah, I'm taking Jared Goff over Zach Wilson.
I thought I took. I don't know.
Mm.
I'll have to listen to it.
I haven't seen enough of Zach Wilson yet, but continue, Brady. Thoughts on the Deshaun Watson trade?
I mean, apparently the Browns were in it and were willing to give up that much the whole way. I mean, trading for Amari Cooper definitely helped that. Because then they didn't need to use that first round pick on a receiver anymore. But I mean, I'm definitely in the same boat as Matt. Tired of Isaac's bullcrap. Baker definitely. I mean, he may have caused problems in the locker room. They say that about everybody, like including Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Aaron Rodgers' was pretty public. Like,
That's true.
Well, yeah, he tried to take the opposition for himself. Clearly, that did not work out. But I mean, Baker threw for over 3,000 yards every year, almost over 20 touchdowns every year, including his third year. He didn't even throw 10 interceptions. He had like 25 touchdowns. But like,
his third year was his best year with the Browns, for sure.
so he played well his rookie year. He was average, but still played well. Second year.
He had a hard sophomore slump.
He played well his third year. You guys to the playoffs. Played super well, and he was injured from like week 3 on. You guys were like, "Oh no, it's over, it's over." Why?
What do you mean, you guys? Blame him.
You have him on the fifth. Had him on the 5th year option. So like he was still cheap. You could wait till the end of the season to decide whether to keep him or not. I mean, yeah, Deshaun Watson will be gone.
I was gonna say,
But there's gonna be other guys out there soon enough. I mean, obviously not Deshaun Watson's caliber. But you
exactly.
can
Why
still
wait? What's the point in waiting if you can go get him?
go see Baker healthy again to see what you actually have. And if there's no real options, bring back Baker for another year.
But that's what we were just saying, is that the division has evolved very quickly.
Yeah, well,
And some of
nobody
the
expected
windows-
Joe Burrow
some
to
of
be
the
as good
windows-
as soon as he did. That's part of it.
Some of the windows on the guys on the Browns are going to close before they get another opportunity.
Yeah, that's
Because their window's a lot smaller than the Bengals is. And the Bengals quickly got up to
Super Bowl level.
Super Bowl level.
yeah.
Quick.
But
So,
the
I just don't
question
know how
is,
that happened.
with the roster right now, does Deshaun Watson even put the Browns at that level?
I don't even know if he plays.
I
Because
think-
who should be the leader of the Browns offense? All right, hold on. Go behind your back. I don't want you guys to influence each other's decisions. All of you, you're doing it too.
Okay.
Who should be the primary weapon on the offense? Deshaun Watson or Nick Chubb? Deshaun Watson 1, Nick Chubb 2. Okay,
Yeah.
So-
they need to run the ball. Browns are a running
Exactly.
team.
so is Deshaun Watson even going to be happy there? If he doesn't get to run the ball every play?
Any
He
quarterback,
doesn't get to throw the bombs?
every quarterback
Well-
in the NFL can be successful off of a good play action.
The one thing that Deshaun
Should be.
is much better than Baker is pocket passing. The defense.
I'm just gonna remind you, the only time we've ever seen Deshaun Watson has been with one DeAndre Hopkins, and he also hasn't played in over a year. So I'd be careful with how you say that.
And I've never looked at Deshaun Watson and said, pocket passer.
No.
Well, they're
He's
gonna
a
make.
run-first quarterback.
He's gonna mainly run.
No, okay, dual threat.
I was gonna say,
I'll
I'd say
go-
he's a dual threat.
I'll
He's
go
not a
dual
run
threat.
first. Like
Okay.
Lamar Jackson's
Maybe-
run first.
yeah.
That's what I would
He's
say.
going.
He's
Okay.
still, okay, I would say he's somewhere between Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson.
I would say, yeah. I would say
He's
he's
still
closer to a Russell Wilson
that's-
just because Lamar is so unique.
Well, they're gonna run bootlegs with them like always.
Rainbow legs with Baker.
Yeah, but
See that
Ba-
come?
but when they stopped the bootlegs last year, Baker couldn't pass in the pocket.
Because he was hurt.
I was gonna say couldn't pass. Period. Like you said, Brady, 3,000 yards. But at the end of the day, in that last game, watching him struggle and knowing that that's
Well, we have to think about it. From week 3 on,
Brady, I've done nothing but think about this since
I'm
the
sure you
NFL
have.
season was over.
he's still in pretty kitchen, but I don't believe anything he has to say.
I have my top 5.
Go for it.
Tom Brady.
All right, he's back. Yeah, we haven't covered that yet. Welcome back, Tom. Thank you for spending 10 minutes with your kids doing geometry homework and being like, "Yep, nope, we're back."
40 days.
Aaron
40 nights, and
Rodgers.
Brady came back.
Is my number 2.
Valid.
Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow. Deshaun Watson.
No freaking way you just put Deshaun Watson over Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson.
And you
Josh Allen?
I was gonna
And
say,
Question
Allen.
mark?
I was gonna say you put 4 and 5 both over Josh Allen.
Matthew Stafford?
I'm taking Josh Allen over Burrow every day of the week. I
I'm taking Josh Allen over Mahomes right now. I've got Josh Allen at 3.
would take Herbert over Watson. I would.
I'll take Herbert over Watson right now, too.
Right now,
How many
yeah.
quarterbacks
After
you
not
got?
playing-
1, 2, 3, 4.
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen,
Mahomes,
Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert,
Burrow, and Stafford.
Burrow, Stafford. So,
We're missing a couple.
at best, 9. We just put him at
Kyler, did you put Kyler on your list?
10. And you put him at 5? Boy, you are a hot take machine, that's for sure.
I mean, he does think Trubisky and Winston are also top 10. I have to remember that.
No.
I mean, there was a little bit of evidence last year up until he got hurt that Jameis Winston could have been a top 10 QB.
That's true, yeah.
Statistically speaking,
But
yeah.
statistically, the Raiders would be the best team in the league if we ended after week 4.
Yeah,
That's
a good
also
point.
true.
Yeah, that's-
But
that happens every year, though. That's nothing new.
Exactly. You are something else.
hey, hot takes. Or nuke takes, whatever you want to call it.
Bro,
Neither.
yours are beyond me at this point. You're
Mercury.
You're just off the deep end right now.
Mercury takes.
That's just stop.
We're just going to ignore that and go into my thoughts now.
Please do, yeah.
I am very happy that we finally had a quarterback that I could identify with in Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean? Like, because throughout my entire life, the Browns have, like, flipped from QB to QB to QB to QB. The only time I'd ever seen any form of stability before Baker Mayfield was when Josh McCown was our starter for 2 straight years.
I would say
We went 1-31 in those 2 years.
Bernie Kosar.
What? No. This is what I can remember.
Say that'd be before our time.
That was in the
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah, but I think the last time the Browns had a stable QB was Bernie Kosar.
They haven't really had one since they came back to the NFL.
No.
But that's where I'd like to start. Obviously, watching that playoff game against the Steelers is one of my favorite memories ever when it comes to football. That might be my favorite memory ever when it comes to football as of right now. Watching that Monday night game, even though we lost against the Ravens, that was a heck of a game.
True.
Yeah. And I love Baker's passion. I like his desire to win. But kind of like how you touched on, Matt, I really think that was his biggest downfall.
That was his downfall. He thinks him at 50% is better than whatever their backup is.
That was Case Keenum.
Which it isn't. If Baker would have just let himself get healthy, if they would have let their run game carry them, maybe sneak into a wild card spot and come back healthy, it could be a different story right now. They might not be in the running for Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Or maybe
we wouldn't
they
need
would.
to be.
Maybe they would still do it, but they would still get more value out of Baker than they would what they will for a trade right now.
Yeah.
Especially since he's already said, "No, you've already got a new quarterback. I want out." Now they have no leverage left.
I don't hold
He
that
came
against
off
him at all.
a not very good season, and he's already requested the trade. So the Browns aren't even going to get that much for him at this point.
My hope is that we can get 1 first-round pick back. I don't think that's going to
I
happen.
don't see it happening.
I could see us maybe getting a conditional second, but even then,
Even like maybe a 2 and a 4.
You
I'm
might
thinking
be,
at best.
You might be looking at Khalil Mack numbers, maybe a little bit better, if you're lucky.
I don't know though, because Carolina still needs a QB.
No, they don't. They have Sam Darnold.
Darnold can get the job done.
Yeah. Indy needs a quarterback right now way more than
Indy
Carolina
needs a
does.
QB.
Indy and Seattle are the two.
Seattle.
That Baker.
Even then, though, DK Metcalf's already came out and tweeted support for Drew Lock.
Well, Atlanta
You need
has a
to.
potential for a QB need too.
Maybe Atlanta.
Depends on if Matt Ryan just goes, no, you guys didn't want to believe in me, so why would I believe in you? And says,
Well,
That's
I
what
don't.
mean.
I know.
Ownership has already came out and said that they're still behind Matt Ryan, though.
Well, I know that they said that.
I don't think.
But it's no different than the. I mean, it is different, but in principle, it's. Oh yeah, this is our guy. Baker's our guy. Matt Ryan's our guy. Oh, but we're gonna look at Deshaun Watson. Oh, we didn't get him. Oh, you're still the guy. You're still the guy. Now, Browns don't have to worry about that because they still somehow.
I was going to say, we ended up getting Deshaun Watson is the big difference.
But
there.
if you didn't,
Dean has.
but if you didn't, it's the same thing. Just more drama in Cleveland than in Atlanta.
Who ends up as Cleveland's quarterback if they don't get Deshaun Watson?
Probably either Case Keenum or we signed Jacoby Brissett today and we
I
traded Case
think,
Keenum.
no, I believe it would have been Baker because they said we're not trading him.
No, Baker probably would have sat out.
I was gonna say you don't think he would have sat out.
I think he would have sat out. To be completely
If
real, I think
he-
he would have sat out.
Baker
I think
would
he
have given double bird and walked out.
I think
Because he's Baker.
if he was smart, coming off of hurt, he was hurt all year, played like crap. If he wanted to get paid, he would have played in Cleveland. Prove me wrong. Because if he wanted to get paid,
Can prove you wrong because multiple guys have sat out and then moved on,
Le'Veon Bell.
and it's worked.
Le'Veon
Deshaun Watson
Bell.
sat out for a year and a half, and a team got 3 first-round picks for him.
And more.
Yeah, and then some.
Antonio Brown cried his way out of Pittsburgh.
Antonio
And they won a ring.
cried his way out of a lot of places and got a ring out of it.
Yeah.
I want to say he cried
Aaron
his way out.
Rodgers cried for years so he could become the highest guaranteed paid player or something like that.
Actually,
not
now,
anymore.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
actually,
I said
now
that- those
I think
details
it's
were
Deshaun
false.
Watson.
it is Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, he got 5 into 30.
And my man hasn't even played in 2 seasons. And you guys made him the highest paid
Dougie
quarterback.
Mills, baby.
Dean Haslam said, we're all in on this guy. He's the one who made the move. He's the one who called the Texans up and he's the one who wanted them. Him. He's made the move. Andrew Berry just made it happen. But it came from the ownership.
Well, that's pretty much the general manager's job, right?
Yep.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
if your owner tells you, hey, give this guy a look, you do it. If not,
No.
you're going to get fired.
Pretty much.
The owner said, we're trading for him.
It's the same principle.
Yeah.
It's the GM's job to make everything happen. At the end of the day, though, if ownership wants something
Yeah.
new,
And at the combine, they did let Baker know, saying, we're looking into bigger and better options. They said that at the combine to his staff.
That's true. They did tell his agent that.
I know. Another big issue is they didn't tell Baker that they were flying to Texas to talk to Deshaun Watson.
I can get behind
That's
that.
true.
I can get that behind that why he's mad. But they told you at the combine that they're looking at different guys.
He's not mad. He's upset.
To a certain extent, though, we haven't covered this yet. Do you think Baker... I don't understand why Baker doesn't get it to a certain extent. Like, you know what I mean? He has to recognize that he did not perform very well last year.
He does, but he also knows that he's better than what he did.
Right.
And he knows that he brought a lot to this franchise and literally brought them out of the dumps and then got thrown away like trash because of one bad year. Now, I'm not saying that they should have stayed with Baker. I love the Deshaun Watson move. I think it's a great move. I think it helps them a lot. I don't think it makes them Super Bowl contenders,
Not yet.
but I think it gives them an opportunity to get there.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Baker. Especially on paper, he is.
Yeah.
And he opens up a lot more options in your offense.
I haven't even touched on, like, the
But-
actual Deshaun Watson stuff. It's just kind of been
Yeah.
the bye Baker.
Um,
Thank you for everything. And that's how I feel.
Another thing with Baker, I want to bring up quick.
Today, Junior.
I say if you're the Browns, trade him to Indy. That's where he wants to go. He gave you a playoff win. Let the guy go to the team he wants to.
This is a business, man. At the end of the day, the Browns are going to do what's the best for them.
That is true, but
That's how
And
sports
he will
work.
come to understand that.
yeah.
But it doesn't change anything. That still sucks. There still should be some loyalty factor, which comes in trading him where he wants to be.
Yeah.
In this case.
And I think he would do pretty good in Indy because there's a Jonathan Taylor there. That he
Yeah, a
has.
high volume running back is a system that he flourishes in. We
Yep.
actually figured that out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another option, obviously, I don't think the Titans are going to do anything, but I think he'd be great in Tennessee.
I could
Derrick
see.
Henry.
I could see maybe
Don't
Tampa
they
Bay
still have Tannehill for, like,
because
3
they
years?
wanted him at one point of time.
Okay, man. If they're gonna get Baker Mayfield, it's not gonna be trading for him. They're gonna wait till he becomes a free agent after this year because it's his last year. And they
He's
still have
not
Tom
saying
on
we're going to
contract.
trade. He's not saying they're going to trade for him. He's saying he would be successful there, dude.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
We're talking about where he should be traded to, though.
We were talking about systems that he would fit in. That's why I brought up Tennessee.
And that's why I brought up the Buccaneers.
He still wouldn't fit in the Bucs. It's an air raid.
Yeah. That's
Has been for years.
It's more of an air raid.
Yeah, but-
absolutely.
Before Brady came back, they were interested in Baker.
I never heard that, but whatever.
So they were interested in everybody and their mother until Tom Brady came back.
Well, can you blame them? Because their one quarterback under contract was Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask and Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert wasn't even under contract.
I don't think anybody's stealing him away, though.
You never know.
No.
But to go back to my
Browns with
point,
backup?
Not anymore.
not anymore. We signed Jacoby Brissett today.
Not sure that did happen today. For a little bit.
We'll pick up a Nick Mullins or something to be the third string, but I like the Deshaun Watson move. I do. I've liked Deshaun Watson for a while. I don't know if I've ever really covered it, but my first year of playing fantasy football, I picked Deshaun Watson to be my quarterback.
Another thing about Deshaun, he puts the Browns on the market for free agents who want to come play for him, though.
I still thought Baker did that, at least at first.
At first, yeah.
I don't know anything about Deshaun Watson's actual personality or his locker room presence, so yeah, I don't believe that. Yeah.
I think Amari Cooper right now does more for the Browns free agency recruiting than
I don't
Yeah.
think Amari Cooper has been anything special in Dallas for a while, so I don't see him as a free agency draw either. And
Still wasn't
Cleveland, the
Deshaun.
city, is not exactly.
I'm about to say your
choice.
free agency draw
Sure.
right now that I believe is Myles Garrett.
That's what I was going
Garrett
to
and
say.
Chubb.
Garrett
Defensive
more.
players, especially players on the defensive line, getting to play with Myles Garrett is a big draw.
Says
That's, I
It's a
mean,
big-
that, yeah,
So I
he's your
think
best
Clowney
draw
comes
right
back.
now.
Clowney thrived. Might
Yeah.
as well.
Clowney wants to come back because of Deshaun Watson and Myles Garrett. They offered him a 2-year, $20 million.
I don't
Where'd
think
you
Deshaun
see
Watson
that?
has anything to do with it. But
Well, if you looked at Clowney's Twitter, he
Clowney's
was pretty excited.
But where did you see the contract?
well, yeah,
details at?
players are going to be excited about new players. They have to be.
Another big move that I guess the only other thing I had about Deshaun Watson, like I said, I've liked Deshaun Watson. I've liked watching him play. I think he's like a Russell Wilson that can run a little bit better. I think he's a very talented quarterback. I hope he's successful because I'm sick and tired of having the same conversation every year. Well, is this year finally going to be our year?
We paid him the
know.
big money for a reason.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure
What'd you
it
say
out.
about Clowney's Twitter?
Clowney posted something about it.
That's oddly funny, considering he's only made one tweet since 2019. Say, never allow someone the power to create a narrative about your character. That was 4 days ago. As long as he's been replying to stuff. Nope, that's the only thing since 2019.
So where'd you pull that one out of? Ear, nose, butt?
No,
Right.
it's from his inside the building source.
Fine. I don't care.
Well, speak facts. Like,
It's like Brady and Bleacher Report.
No, it's not like that. Don't try and throw the blame somewhere else there. But I guess I'll never finish my thoughts on Deshaun Watson, so we'll just move on.
The big thing that concerns me is the 22 allegations still.
Really?
I thought
Wow.
we'd bring it
Thank
up.
you for that one, Isaac.
We haven't brought it up
appreciate
yet, so I thought I would.
He was criminally proven not guilty, or I shouldn't say that. There was not enough evidence to convict him criminally, but there can still be civil lawsuits, and the NFL hasn't gotten involved yet.
So at this point, the Deshaun Watson thing, obviously it's to a bigger magnitude, but this is essentially what the MLB is doing to Trevor Bauer. They're kind of holding him off until they decide whether they want to suspend him or not.
Yep. That's where we're at. Another thing that the Browns have done over the last couple days is restructure Amari Cooper's contract to give him more signing bonus money. They did that. They cut Jarvis Landry. There's no way he was coming back on his current contract. So I think that they're doing that to try and bring Landry back if they can, because obviously we don't have a first-round pick right now. So bringing him back would be huge. That would be clutch. I think Amari Cooper definitely takes over as wide receiver 1. That would make our wide receiver room pretty much what? Obviously, it'd be Landry, Cooper, Peoples-Jones, Anthony Schwartz. There's one more, because Rashard Higgins just left for Atlanta.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much it?
No,
I think
I was
so.
going to say that's also if you bring Landry back.
Right, that's if we bring Landry
I
back.
I'll let you finish.
I'm asking for opinions
the
here.
good news is
I
Donovan
know
Peoples-Jones.
you're right. I know there is one more. I cannot.
I can't think of it either.
I thought on the way home from the hockey game, I thought my dad said Landry and Beckham to Green Bay, but I don't know if that's true.
What'd you say, Brady?
Is JoJo Matson on the Browns?
Yeah,
Just
he
say
tore his ACL at the
JoJo
start of the
somebody.
season last year.
Said JoJo.
That's right. I
No,
always-
he played last year. It was the year before.
Was it the year before? But yes, he is on the Browns. You're right. He's the other one.
Matt, you want to fact check me on that?
Marcus Bradley, Amari Cooper, Jakeem Grant,
Oh,
Forgot about Jakeem Grant.
that was
Ryan
a big time
Switzer.
for them. Switzer. Huh?
Yeah.
I think he played for the Steelers at one point. I don't know why. But
And when do you want to fact check me on the Landry and Beckham thing with Green Bay?
I heard you bring it up earlier. I had not seen that anywhere. I mean, I've
Okay.
seen them both links to Green Bay, but not together.
Okay.
I see
didn't-
no reason why they couldn't go together, though.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
They just shipped. That's another thing that's happened over the last couple of days. I've said everything I need to say on the Browns, unless anybody has anything else. But
I mean, I could see those two coming back because we have Deshaun Watson now, but
OBJ's not coming
do
back.
not bring OBJ back to Cleveland. Well,
OBJ's going back to LA.
yeah, he'd
Yeah.
be stupid to not go back to
Especially
the
after they
Rams.
just traded Robert Woods for
Yeah.
a 6th rounder.
yeah.
He'd be stupid not to go back to the Rams
Yep.
right now. But I guess another big thing: Devontae Adams turned down more money from the Packers. to go reunite with his friend and former college teammate at Fresno State, Derek Carr.
He didn't want to play for Green Bay anymore.
They still could be fourth place.
That's so sad to think about. The Raiders added arguably the number 1 wide receiver in the league.
And probably one of the best defensive ends in the free agency market, too.
Yeah.
True. Chandler Jones is pretty nasty.
Chandler Jones is good, and they still could end up finishing 4th in the AFC West because of how stacked that division is right now.
Even the Broncos are looking good right now.
We've already talked about Russell Wilson, but since, I believe, the recording of the last episode, the Chargers traded for Khalil Mack.
That was the same day.
Was it the same day?
Same day.
But I know this one wasn't in there because this happened yesterday. Juju Smith-Schuster signed with the Chiefs.
J.C. Jackson signed with the Chargers.
Another average wide receiver to add to their core.
Something about Juju, and it's funny. Jackson Mahomes and Juju TikToks.
I saw that.
Oh, jeez.
I thought I would bring that up.
Jackson Mahomes on the pod. Come on, man.
Anyways,
Corvette your way out of here.
all it says is that there are several Packers players, quote unquote, trying to recruit them.
Well,
That's all it
why
says. It
wouldn't
says
they?
the Packers have talked to Jarvis Landry. I couldn't find anything actually about
Okay.
it.
I didn't.
Never does anything. Ask
I
me
didn't
if you're
know
recruiting
because
for
my
like
dad
6
brought it
days.
up. So I thought I would have one of you guys look into it.
Jarvis Landry much more likely than
Yeah.
I think-
I will agree with
To
One
be
more-
completely real, though, the only way I could see Odell coming back to Cleveland is because Baker's gone.
Yeah.
I really think that most of his problems with the Browns were actually just with Baker Mayfield.
There's definitely a chance.
There's a hot take. I don't know if that's true, but that's my
I don't even know
opinion.
that's a take. That might actually be genuine.
I think that
Like,
that actually might be
I don't
true.
think he will, and to be honest, I don't want him to because OBJ left a very, very nasty
I was
taste in
gonna
my mouth.
say, I was gonna say
I
you
think-
might be right, but
that
the way
could be one of the
OBJ left,
reasons that
he's
the
not
Browns
gonna
got rid
be
of Baker.
back.
Yeah.
Could that
The Browns just 2 bad breakups in the span of what, 5 months?
yeah.
Something like that.
One more thing. Jarvis was offered a 2-year $20 million by the Browns too.
Where are you seeing these details at? You said that Clowney also got offered 2 and 20.
Yeah. They're both considering.
Where did you see this at? Or hear this at? Because I know you listen to your Cleveland ESPN.
ESPN Cleveland and Cleveland Browns Daily.
I hope that they get at least one of them. To be honest, I think I would prefer to bring Clowney
I was
back.
going to say, I think if they want him to be Clowney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Clowney
It wouldn't
too.
be the most difficult thing in the world to find a replacement for Jarvis Landry because he's not wide receiver 1 anymore.
You can find someone in the second round pretty easily in
Right.
this draft class. Like a Chris Olave. Just because he's from Ohio State and getting first one off my mind.
Does Olave make it to the round 2, though?
But yeah, probably.
I think if he does, I want to. Oh, I think it'd probably be late first, early second.
That very well could be
Somewhere in
true.
that range. I don't know, there's a lot of wide receivers this year. It really just depends on who does what.
Mock draft coming in a couple episodes.
Probably something like that, yeah. Yeah, like 6 weeks, that happens too.
Any other big free agency signings? J.C. Jackson to the
Jackson.
Chargers.
Right.
Von Miller.
Von Miller got a
120.
huge bag from the Bills.
Bro was 32 years old and signed a 6-year, $20 million a year deal.
Hey, he got paid.
I was going to say, I respect the hustle, but the Bills, I don't know, guys. That's a lot of money for a
Okay.
32-year-old pass rusher.
Okay. So here's my question. Which is worse? $20 million a year for 6 years for 32-year-old Von Miller? Or giving Christian Kirk $21 million a year for 4 years?
What?
At
Definitely
Jacksonville.
Christian Kirk. That's such a stupid contract.
Jacksonville spends so much money.
As of right
Okay,
now,
everybody.
it's Christian Kirk. As of right now.
I'm sure there's an as of right now, but I think this is kind of
But
genuine.
Christian Kirk's gonna be the one there. Probably.
I mean, unless they draft somebody. Still draft somebody from Clemson. I mean, why not?
He's the one there, so if he develops into that kind of money, good for
Allen
him.
Robinson was also the one there at one point. And
Uh,
he's had a tough scene because then he went to the Bears.
And then the Rams.
Poor guy. Yeah, I know the Rams. That's another one right there.
Yep.
Allen Robinson.
Do you guys have any free agency that are still in free agency that you guys would be Considering for your teams, Brady, Patriots haven't done anything. They need wide receiver help. Who do you want?
Oh, I was just thinking. I mean, I wouldn't mind Landry, but he's not like my top choice.
Who would your top choice be?
I'm suddenly blanking on it. That's part of the problem. That's why I started with Landry.
All right.
Well, because like my original thoughts were like Robinson and Shark.
They're both
We're
gone.
now both gone.
Right. Chark went to Detroit, and Robinson went to. Why am I drawing a blank?
Robinson went to the Rams.
Yeah,
We
that's
thought
right.
about it.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me.
That's gonna be nasty. Two of the best, arguably the best route runners in the game on the same team.
Bro, Matt Judon literally went out there. It was like Twitter spamming, trying to recruit people daily.
Oh yeah.
And we got trade Ty Montgomery. That's all we got. We got Ty Montgomery because Juwan Bentley came back and James White came back.
One of the big free agencies that's out there is Calais Campbell.
Calais Campbell's out there, and Jimmy G's still out there.
Jimmy G, yeah, he still needs traded.
That's it. That's pretty much every huge name that's out there, I believe.
I'm about to say, if you're the Browns and don't get Clowney, I'd be looking to Campbell seriously.
Oh, what the? What?
Even if you get Clowney, I would be looking to Campbell seriously because he'd be a good inside threat for them.
Much he's probably went back to the Rams. I definitely would not mind OBJ because he would come in and get the job done. And I mean, Bill's worked with problems receivers before. I mean, heck, we even had a week of AB at one point.
Sort of.
But like,
Yeah.
say we took in Randy Moss
Right.
and we turned him around.
Um,
So, you and I were talking about it one night. I think the only time like recently that and this was a while ago. The only like failed turnaround by Bill Belichick has been Albert Hainsworth.
Right.
Because that man was already too
And
far down
AB.
to begin with.
I was gonna say
I don't even count AB. The only reason AB got kicked off the Patriots is because that was when he had his allegations.
Oh, okay.
That was the only reason we got rid of him because we traded for him. We didn't even give up much for him.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
But I
Um,
wouldn't mind OBJ if we could find a way to land somebody like Bobby Wagner. That'd be super nice.
I want.
That's true, Bobby Wagner's
try
still
to
out there.
try to bring back Gilmore. That'd be sweet. But
I would love to see Bobby Wagner on the Browns. Him and JOK would be scary.
oh, that reminds me. Patriots and Browns made a trade too. Mac Wilson for Chase Winovich.
I didn't even understand that trade. I'd never heard of Chase Winovich.
He's an edge rusher from Michigan.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not.
Well, I know now, but
well, yeah.
before
he's
that.
He's a low risk, high reward kind of edge rusher.
I mean, that's fine. We needed someone like that in case Colleen
He's
didn't come
more
back.
of like an outside linebacker. He's not like a Myles Garrett Clowney off the DM.
Right. And Mac Wilson's about as streaky of a linebacker as you can get, so good luck with
Yeah.
that.
Hey man,
Um,
Bill's done more with worse.
Speaking of,
We did back deploy Trey Flowers at one point.
Speaking of the Bills, they just cut Cole Beasley.
It's because they couldn't find a trade partner for him.
Do you think that the Patriots maybe bring him in for a
Not
year?
Cole Beasley.
Why not?
Because Cole Beasley falls under the same thing as Edelman. Or not Edelman. Myers. New Edelman, sorry. Falls under,
He does still fall.
I was going to say, so he falls under that category.
yeah.
yeah, he does.
That's what Cole Beasley's
If-
made his living off of.
If you're the,
I know.
Check down.
Well,
Yeah,
I meant
yeah.
to say Myers, but I was like thinking New Edelman. So
It's all the same.
yes, Edelman, but I was going for the active portion.
But the
Speak-
dollar store of the dollar store version, is that what you're saying?
Pretty
speaking of
much,
Cole
but-
Beasley,
I don't know if Beasley's that far behind Myers, but
I mean, he's not, but I mean,
Myers is
Beasley,
younger.
Myers
is
Beasley's
like
not like
25.
the type of guy we need. Honestly, if the Texans were willing to trade him, I'd be like, hey, let's bring back Brandon Cooks. You know, Brandon Cooks.
he's a free
what does
agent.
that mean?
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
What do you mean, not the type of guy?
He's.
You mean like attitude?
If I'm the
wise, or
Browns, I would be calling him up.
I mean, Cole Beasley's attitude's not the greatest, but
what? He's himself.
Yeah.
He's out there.
Is that what we're calling it?
He's opinionated.
I thought Brandon Cooks was a free agent.
no, because the Texans are trying to build around Brandon Cooks. That's why they didn't trade him at the deadline.
I thought he was a free agent. I could be totally wrong now.
Isn't there like 3 Brandon Cooks in the NFL?
No, there's 4 Mike Collinses though.
Didn't he just sign a new deal or get his restructured? Michael Thomas for the Saints.
Maybe.
I mean, it might have. I don't know. There's a Mike Thomas and a Michael Thomas on the Bengals though.
Speaking of the Saints, I think they bring back Jameis now.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
there's no reason
Yeah.
not to.
Jameis and Mariota for them,
Hopefully
I
keep
would
him healthy.
believe.
There's no reason that Jameis Winston shouldn't be a starter in the NFL somewhere.
This is his last year, Isaac.
Is it this year? Okay.
Jameis Winston is a good enough passer to get the job done. There's no reason the Saints shouldn't try and bring him back.
Yeah. Speaking of Cole Beasley, he's a good slot guy. If Jarvis doesn't come back,
He's a good
someone to
check down
look
guy.
into.
Cole Beasley is a solid wide receiver 3.
He would be probably wide receiver 3.
Because we have
Amari Cooper for sure, and
I was gonna say
DPJ would be
behind
number 2.
DPJ, yeah. DPJ's developing pretty well.
I like
DPJ.
DPJ's more of like a long route guy though, right?
Yeah,
In all technicality.
Yeah.
I mean, worst comes worst, you just have him as punt return and wide receiver 4.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
We drafted him in the 6th round,
He's
so
a solid punt return.
he's
He's developing just fine.
This will be his 3rd season.
yeah.
As much as it pains me, the more I think about OBJ, the better it would probably be.
You need a wide receiver like that, though.
As you said, OBJ would definitely be our wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
It would take a lot more pressure off of Myers
Well, you know
and
who else you
Bourne.
could bring in?
Don't you dare say it. We're not doing
Say
this right now. Save it for the Patreon.
Say it.
Save it
Say
for the
it.
Patreon.
We didn't even make it a Patreon for like 2 months.
We're making the Patreon.
Scotty Miller.
Yes.
Hater.
Scotty Miller.
Anyway. Hey.
He's not a hater, he's just not a believer.
Nah, he's a hater.
What he said.
No, you're a hater. You are absolutely a hater.
No, I'm not a hater of Scotty Miller. I hate that you obsess over him.
What? I
When-
hate that you're unaccepting that he could be
Hey,
the wide receiver 1 of the Patriots.
BG.
I didn't even bring it up. Wasn't me.
I'm
Wasn't-
aware. It's been him the last like 4 episodes, including the meme Hall of Fame. By the way, it was still him. Also, it's a great candidate for next time. By the way,
yeah.
putting that on the list.
But do you guys have anything else with NFL free agency? We covered about everything. Everything I wanted to say, at least.
I think we
Tyrann
covered everything
Matthews
major.
still out there.
Yeah, but there's no reason the Chiefs shouldn't try and bring him back.
Well,
Patriots brought back Devin McCourty. Forgot about that. That was huge.
yeah, that was huge for you.
Defensive back.
Our veteran safety, who's been our captain, defensive captain for like the last 6 years.
He's been there forever.
The thing about
Gronk's still out there, baby.
Kansas City's
Gronk's
safety.
not going anywhere.
Kansas City signed a new safety.
Yeah, but there's still no reason
Yeah,
that
they
they shouldn't try and
signed that
bring
Justin
back
Reed guy
Tyrann
from the
Mathieu.
Texans, though, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought it was. I don't know, we'll see. We gotta get that far.
There's still a lot of good free agencies out there, and I would love to see where they go.
It is going to be an interesting season in the NFL. The Bengals have very high hopes.
The entire AFC West.
Yeah, the entire AFC West is terrifying.
The AFC is terrifying with QBs now.
Can the Rams go at it again?
Yeah.
Can the Bengals live up to their standards? Here's a hot take for you. Bengals equal the Atlanta Hawks.
1 year
Come out.
Cinderella story and just fall off.
Yep. 1 year, heck of a run. Next year, middle of the pack. And I don't think it's going to happen.
I saw a
think
hot
the
take like
Bengals
that
are gonna
too. Like it.
I don't think it's going to happen
They're
either.
500 right now, the Hawks are.
I think
Right.
it could. I think it might, honestly.
It could.
It
Thinking
could.
about it?
It's not likely, but it could.
I'm about to say this.
Nobody expected the Hawks to get worse. They only made their roster better in the offseason.
Well, because
Right.
when you think about it, I mean, the Bengals swept. Yeah, they swept the Ravens, and that's catching lightning.
The only
They also got
team they
swept by the
did-
Browns, so.
I'm about to
That's
say.
also true. I don't.
Was-
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know.
The
Week
only
17,
team
we don't necessarily.
I mean,
we don't count
Doesn't
that.
really count.
No,
They
that
still
one doesn't
won.
count.
About the Bengals swept everyone in their division except for the Browns.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
know if you can sustain catching lightning in a bottle twice by sweeping the Ravens. The Steelers, yeah, sure, you can sweep mental Trubisky all you want.
I'm about to say healthy Lamar in the division, healthy Burrow, and depends on what Watson gets.
Hopefully a season of Deshaun Watson.
The
It would be nice if he didn't get a suspension, but
I
Probably will.
think he's going to.
well, I would say it's likely. But at the same time, he didn't play for.
He didn't play last year,
He
so
gave himself a
maybe the
suspension.
NFL just finds him a
Pressure.
crap ton of money, and they go on with it because he didn't play last year. But I
he
think
was
he's
listed as a healthy scratch for every game.
That's true because he wasn't even on the restricted list.
no. But
Freaking roster spot doing that.
I think we'll see Jacoby Myers for 6 games.
Who?
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, 'cause
Not Jacoby Myers. He's
I
a
was gonna say,
crappy
you're only gonna
Patriots
see
wide
Jacoby
receiver.
Myers once.
Jacoby Brissett, I think we'll see him for 6 games.
Wow, thought about his fans.
If you're the NFL, you schedule the Browns' easiest games at the first half of the year, and then you have Deshaun Watson for the hard game, for all the hard games.
No, that works.
But if you're the NFL,
unfortunately, that's not how scheduling works. Would be an interesting strategy.
but
They
if
definitely bait some stuff like that.
But if the NFL wants to see Deshaun Watson in the good Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night games, they'll do that.
the problem is the schedule was out.
Yeah, the
6
schedule's
months
dropped.
before the trade was even a thought. So
No, schedules aren't out until after the draft. They just have who they're
matchups.
playing. They just have matchups.
Okay, that makes sense. That doesn't change the fact that they might already have been made. But okay, that checks out then.
They don't.
If I remember that last quarterback,
I have 2
I'll
more.
get there in a second. Go ahead. You guys go first.
I was going to say, I have 2 more thoughts to close out on. Number 1, the only thing keeping my hope in the Browns alive last year was our first game against the Bengals. That was the week after we traded Odell. Everyone in Cleveland was pissed. Like, no one knew what to do. And
Baker
then
played better.
They came out and beat the Bengals by 30 points. in
Denzel
Cincinnati.
Ward.
Can you let him talk? Just once.
They came out.
We're gonna have to fight. We're gonna have to fight.
They beat the Bengals by 30 points in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow looked like crap. The Browns looked great.
They almost beat the Chiefs if it weren't for Squash Hammer.
Yeah, screw that guy. I don't know why I believed in him. Anyway,
He got cut during middle of the season.
yeah, I still blame. That loss is 100% his fault and his fault only. I'll die by that. But and then the other thought I have, and I think I've said this on the podcast before, but here's a real hot take. The Bengals will not make the Super Bowl again. They had their window, and it's closed. And this was even before the AFC West got really good, because there's too much talent in the AFC right now.
I'd agree.
Because you have Wilson,
Hey, it's a
Herbert,
dogfight.
Patrick Mahomes,
And Derek Carr, that's
Derek-
one division.
Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson, Burrow, Lamar,
Allen,
I was gonna
potentially
say
Allen.
Allen, if he continues to pan out well.
Yeah,
Mac
Mac Jones will
Jones.
only continue to get better.
Sophomore slump.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry,
Not a quarterback.
Derrick
close enough.
Henry.
He basically runs the team. Might as well.
Jonathan Taylor.
Are you gonna be depressed as Mac Jones sophomore slump hits? How much is it gonna hurt you? Especially when it starts like right.
Oh, it's gonna
before the
strike his soul.
Hey man, you know what? As long
game.
as
You're
they,
in tears.
as long as they win, hey, you know what? As long as they win 5 games, they'll be fine.
Yeah, okay, they made the playoffs last year, but as long as they win 5 games, you'll be okay.
Dude,
Sure.
I was
Have you
surprised
ever
at
seen your
Russell.
team not make the playoffs other than when Cam Newton was the QB? No,
No.
is the
No.
short answer.
No, because
That's the only
because
answer.
the Cam Newton year was the only time Bill Belichick had a sub 500 record in New England.
I am wrong. It was not the only answer.
But out of all those teams, I think the Patriots would be short out.
I was gonna say, now that the Broncos added Russell Wilson, the Patriots probably will be one of those better teams that get the shaft.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sadly,
But are the Browns really that far away from that?
No,
No.
I'll be up front.
It-
No,
it
But
that
are-
absolutely
But
could be
is
the Browns.
Denver really that high?
It depends
I think
on how
they could
high.
be.
It's been,
their
If
defense.
Russell Wilson stays
Oh.
healthy. and can
if
actually
Russell
play
stays
well for a
healthy, it
full
depends on
season.
how well Cortland Sutton bounces back too, because he just tore his ACL.
Jerry Judy was.
Say Jerry Judy's still there too.
Jerry
Yeah.
Judy's a good route runner.
It depends how the Raiders gel.
The
And
Ra-
that
I
new
have faith in the Raiders.
Raiders are about as streaky of a football team as you can
Raiders
get.
gel. New head coach
Yeah,
though.
And their head coach is super streaky too.
Yeah, exactly.
They even have a head coach?
Yeah, they hired McDaniels away from New England, and then he took a half
See,
our system.
that's going to be the downfall.
And they're signed.
Is that what you were talking about earlier? when
Yeah,
you said
they,
take
they've,
half
si-
your
they've
own
signed
coaches,
like
too?
five former Patriots players too.
New England downfall is going to be pretty much an all new coaching staff, except for Bill.
Yeah, because we
But
freaking
they
rehired Matt Patricia.
But they have
But they
Bill.
have the mastermind. so it
Freaking
doesn't
Joe
matter.
Jones.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
So-
that's not gonna be their downfall.
Like, say we have-
Your guys'
we have the evil
downfall,
empire.
Brady. I know I make fun of you for this all the time, but your downfall is gonna be a lack of wide receiver one.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
I was gonna say that's why I've been all gung ho, and then you need to.
Your tight ends are decent. You have a decent running back core. You have a young quarterback
It's-
whose
but-
potential
But
is
every-
through the
but
roof.
everything is decent. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
And when everybody else is getting good, decent can only get you so
I
far.
was gonna say, and Bill lets everyone leave because somehow, some way, just randomly finds new people. I never believe it'll work. But
That's
The
what
good
that
thing about the
is.
Patriots and wide receiver one draft is strong this year with wide receivers.
That's true.
I was gonna say they're gonna take a receiver or D tackles.
I don't
The
think
Ohio State boys. That'd be a dope.
It'll be a dub.
I'd be okay with anybody, honestly.
Anybody?
Any first round wide receiver, I'd be okay.
Okay.
As long as they get the job done.
You said anyone. I was about to
Turn back
bring
this
up.
way.
You know.
This way.
Not Scotty Miller. I said anyone in the draft.
All right. Does anybody? Not you, because I'm sure you have a million more things to say. Do either of you two have any final thoughts?
So, to close, or to at least go close to full circle, reflecting back on his list, are you taking Dak Prescott or John Watson?
Dak.
Ooh.
Right now, Dak.
Right now, Dak. I'm thinking
Sean Watson too.
his
11.
Is that 11 machine? Yeah.
historically, honestly, if I'm building a franchise, like, take away sexual assault, take away, like, sitting out for a year.
Do you take away Dak's leg injury too?
Yeah. Take all that away. Historically speaking, I'm saying this is what I would have done in the past. Before all that, I would have taken Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, before
Like I said,
all
I've always liked Deshaun Watson, is the difference there.
I like the dual threat quarterback. That if I'm building a franchise, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not necessarily worried about Deshaun. I want to see what he'll be like without DeAndre. Because,
One word. He'll be fine.
he'll be fine.
that was more than one word.
One phrase. How about that? He'll be fine. No caps, no periods, therefore it's a phrase. Anyway.
Straight letters.
Another thing,
He'll be fine is a full sentence.
the Browns had a chance to draft him.
That's
They
another
traded with the
thing.
Texans,
Austin's coming full circle.
Yeah.
Ah, Brock.
and Watson came full circle.
Yep.
And that's all I have to say for this episode.
Wrap her up.
All right, this concludes episode 44. Obviously, NFL free agency was the center of this one. Make sure to follow all our social medias at Hot Take Sports 16. Drop us a hot take. We'll feature it. Make sure to go buy merch at hottakesports.online. We got t-shirts on there, a bunch of other cool stuff.
Hoodies, different colors.
Right.
Buy merch so Matt picks an NFL team.
So we can produce
Rate,
better
follow,
content.
subscribe, and hopefully Clayton will actually get to finish his statement someday. Follow
Yeah.
us on social medias again. Have a good night.
This-
Deuces.